Welcome back, ladies. A Queen's Roundtable Quarterly Symposium is back. Like I promised, I am your host, Jacqueline Cabot Harrison. I am your host for A Queen's Roundtable Quarterly Symposium. This time around, we are honoring mom CEOs across the globe. And I felt that it was important to do that. Well, one, because, Mother's Day, month of May. That rhymes, Mother's Day, month of May. But anyway, I felt like it was important to acknowledge all that we do. And a lot of us, I don't care if your children are like 10, like mine, school age, or in their 30s or whichever, right? I just wanted to be able to honor everyone and just to say, I appreciate all that you do. And I'm sure all of the women and or men, if you service men as well, have been impacted in the way that you serve through your business, and they want to thank you and honor you as well. So we do this quarterly, January, May, and September. So yes, the next one will be in September. But I am just so excited and appreciative that you decided to join us for this particular symposium. This time we're doing things a little different. We're kicking off the whole month of May, every Friday and Saturday in May. And we're starting about the 7 p.m. area and going through 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this time around, the speakers are always awesome, but especially this time, there is an awesome lineup. So much knowledge, so much wisdom and tools and techniques are being given. And again, remember, everybody brings something different to the table. And that's what's good about a virtual summit, is for those that participate, even for the speakers, the networking, or it's a lot of times the speakers learn from one another. I know I learn from everybody. I'm always in a constant state of learning. So this is a free summit, and it's really no reason for you to miss this summit. If you are a female and you are in business, I don't care if you just started your business 6 months ago, or if you've been in business for 6 years, this is a summit that you don't want to miss. So if you are hearing me right now, okay, you may be watching me from my timeline, my Facebook timeline, or maybe from YouTube. But go ahead, use that registration link and do 2 things. 1, register, and 2, jump over into the private Facebook group. Now you might say, well, Jackie, if I'm watching you here, why do I need to get into the Facebook group? Well, let me tell you. The reason is because in the Facebook group, you will have access to all of the lives. So even if you missed the first weekend, you can go back and check those out. Or if you missed the second weekend, you can go back and check those out. Or if you just want to listen to it again, maybe it was so much good information and you couldn't process everything at one time. So you have access to the replays. Also, inside of the group, you have access to the panels. We have a few panels and they are awesome. Okay, so you have access to the panels. And last, but definitely not least, is there's going to be extra goodies in there. One of those is entertainment. So we have some spoken word artists. We have some dance choreographies, as well as some singers that have agreed to come and take the virtual stage and perform for you. So go ahead and jump on in that Facebook group. So again, I'm Jacqueline Cabot Harrison. I'm going to go ahead and let my keynote speaker take the stage and take you by surprise. I hope you are ready, and I will meet back up with you after her presentation. All right, so I'll talk to everybody soon.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Miss Jacqueline, so much for having me on here and for me to be a part of the Queen's Roundtable. It is my honor to be here. So I'll do a quick introduction. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Fast Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I am the host of the Fearless Morning Show, weekdays on Facebook. I'm the author of a couple of books you can check out on Amazon, as well as a podcast. But more importantly, I am here as a sister, and my journey in life is to help sisters rise, and that is revitalizing individual sacred energy, and that is understanding who you are, why you are, whose you are, and the importance of that as we walk on this journey, however we see fit to walk. The journey is yours to carry. So tonight I want to share a couple of things with you. I want to talk about the key thought processes. And there's four things to the key thought process of how we need to operate or how we need to think. And my whole point will always for you to think about something. Y'all remember Arsenio Hall? Something that makes you go, So something for you to think about. So we have 4 key thought processes, and I'm going to list them for you, and then we're going to go into them as they go. And please, if you have any questions, I do not mind stopping to answer your questions, because I want to make sure that you're able to get the information that you need. So I love when you talk back to me. So number 1, I'm going to list them out first, and then we'll go through them. Number 1 key thought process is, just for today, I open myself up to understand more. Just for today, I open myself up to understand more. Number 2 is, I upgrade my perspective and my perception. Number 3, I trust myself with my power. And number 4, I dare to explore more of myself in the world around me. Now, all of these definitions and all of these statements have meaning behind them. We're going to go through all of them. And I just want us to understand that the power of change is what's going to help us in this key thought process. It is change that equals challenge. But if we're not open to the challenge, we will not be able to go to the next step. So here we go. Number 1 is, just for today, I open myself up to understand more. Now, for me, when I was going through this process, and I've been on this journey for 17 years, what I found is that sometimes when we look at the bigger picture, and that is absolutely the goal, but sometimes when we look at the bigger picture, we get overwhelmed, and then we stop. And we don't go any further, because now we're starting to doubt ourselves. We're starting to assume we can't go anywhere, or we can't do anything. So if just for today, and when I started this, I said, JoJo, just for one day, just for 1 minute, the next 30 minutes, if you can focus on this thing, then the next thing will come. And that's how I started, because we celebrate day 1, not 1 days. So just for the day, I want you to open yourself up to understand more. You are assuming right now, wherever you are, whether it is mental, emotional, physically, financially, and we will do what we call, and I love this exercise. It's called a square up exercise. So let me grab a pen. And you're going to grab a piece of paper, and it can be, honey, a back of an envelope piece of paper, and you're going to simply draw a square, mentally, emotional, physically, financially, and you're going to write out, if just for today, if you could focus on any of those things, where would you open yourself up more to understand? Because right now you're assuming you don't have the answer. You are assuming that things are really hard, it's overwhelming, you don't know the next step. But if just for today, you would focus on one thing, then you would be open to understand more. It's hard for us to understand more, to receive more, to acknowledge that we know the next steps, when we are stuck in that overwhelmed feeling, when we assume that we don't know the answer. And I'm here to remind you that you know what you need to know. You already know. You're not becoming something that you're not. You're becoming more of who you are when you remember what you know. And sometimes in our daily lives, we put things on. We put on titles: wife, sister, mother, aunt, cousin, worker, business owner. And you have all of these titles, and you forget to know who you are. And when you forget to know who you are, you may feel like you're overwhelmed, and you assume that you don't understand anything. So just for the day, just for the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes, open yourself up to understand more, that just for the day, you can do the thing. If we keep closing ourselves off to say we don't understand or we can't do it, it's going to make our next steps more difficult. That means it's going to take it longer for our abundance to come, for our blessings to come, for the additional answer that you think that you need for it to come, because you're cutting yourself off when you say you don't know. So just for the day, and I guarantee the answer is going to come, open yourself up to receive more. But with that, you also have to be willing to receive more than your previous share of abundance. Meaning, you got the blessing. Absolutely. The Lord blessed you, the Creator, He blessed you, and you assume that that is the only blessing that you can have. Well, you can receive more than your previous share of abundance, but it comes with knowing, just for the day, I'm going to open myself up to understand more. The second key thought process is, you have to be willing to upgrade your perspective and your perception, right? I love this. And please let this be a square exercise as well, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. Where do you need to upgrade your perspective and your perception? Because sometimes, even in the midst of lack, you need to see abundance. Because you may assume that lack is all around. But if you change your perspective and your perception on something, you're able to see the abundance of the thing, which goes back to number one, which is understanding more. When you begin to change your perspective and your perception, you change what you speak. You begin to speak what I call a moving language. You begin to talk differently. You begin to say words, and literally, people will not understand the words that are coming out of your mouth because they do not understand your moving language. The natural progression of man is to be great. The natural progression of you is for greatness. And every time you assume that you're not meant to be great, then you are pushing against the creator that is inside of you to be great. So when you think about changing your perspective and your perception, I want you to take a look at the words that you always say. And one word that I would love for us to remove out of our vocabulary is broke. Girl, I'm broke. Honey, I don't have any money. I'm broken. There's no good people out here. There's no good men. There's no good jobs. And the minute you do that, you are cutting yourself off from what could be your next blessing, because your perspective and your perception is saying that this is the only thing that you can have. And when your mindset is focused on the negative and the lack, you have no idea that there's abundance all around you. And today I want you to introduce yourself to the miracles that are bumping into you every day. Your abundance that is there for you every single day if you change your perspective and your perception. And it is the most amazing thing when you begin to change that, you are going to be at a different level. You're going to be at a different level than when you first started. So now you're going to see differently. You're going to understand differently. And you're going to be open to understand more. So your perspective and your perception is attached to absolutely every word that comes out of your mouth. So if my words, and I love to share this, that if you do not give your words and your breath direction every morning, you will trip over the same thing. Meaning every day you will have the same problem. You will have the same problem at every job. You will have the same problem in every relationship. You'll have the same job when it comes to your careers, finance, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. You will have the same conversation because you're not giving your words and your breath direction every morning or every evening. So what does that look like? It looks like when you wake up in the morning, today, this morning, I give you perception, my perspective and my perception to do this. Or I give my words direction to make this an amazing day. I give my words and my breath direction to find this abundance, to find this answer today. And you will find that your words, they can't come back to you any other way than done. You will find the answer there. So as you open up your mouth to speak, as you upgrade your perspective and your perception, know that it is guided by the words that come out of your mouth. So as you are wanting to move past whatever it is, whatever the obstacle is, and please apply this to your career, your relationship, however you want to apply it, know that the words that are coming out of your mouth, your words are the light to your path to your success. So if the path is dark, you're saying dark words. I want us to be clear. We want to deal with straight facts, okay? So if I'm saying dark words, then I'm going to be surrounded in darkness. I'm not going to understand my next steps. I'm going to be confused. I'm going to sit in confusion. I'm not going to understand. But when I have light words, then I can see the next step. And I love to do an exercise with word replacement. I want you to look at words that you were thought or you assume have a bad connotation. Abundance. I want to be a millionaire. I want to live abundantly. Who told us that these words were bad? So I want you to list out, this is a quick exercise, list out those words, right, that you assume have a bad connotation. Look up their definition. Look at the definition that other people gave you. And then, friend, my sister, you decide which word you're going to decide, which definition is going to fit the lifestyle that you want. So number 2 is you upgrade your perspective and your perception. I encourage you to give your words and your breath direction every morning. Honey, start small. If you say, I don't understand, or I don't know what to say, Today, I give my words and my breath direction to have a great day. I give my words and my breath direction to love myself today. Start with something small and then build on it. The third one in the key thought process is trust yourself. Trust yourself with your power. Now, I love doing this because you assume that you have no power. And you assume you have no power every single day when you get up in the morning and you say, I just don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know how I'm going to figure this out. I just don't know. If you believe in whatever religion you subscribe to, okay, they all ask that you be great. They all ask that you live in abundance. But if you are God's girl, then we live in the kingdom. Then we are a kingdom. We are king citizens, and we have certain rights as a kingdom citizen, right? And so you need to begin to trust the power that was given to you. So if you're made in his image, that means some of him is inside of you. That makes you powerful all by yourself. If you woke up this morning, that meant the entire universe needed you to be here today in order to operate. That's why you're here. And you are so powerful. You're so powerful that you told the creator that lives inside of you, I'm not smart enough to do this. I'm not strong enough to do this. I don't have the courage. I don't have the wisdom. You told the creator of the entire universe that. You overrode the creator to insist that you were less than, to insist you could not do it, to insist that you could not think about it. You honored your limitations in saying you could not. So you mean to tell me you're powerful enough to override the innate God inside of you, but you're not powerful enough to think a different thought? That sounds insane, right? But every day, that's what we do. I'm guilty. I will raise both hands and I will wear the t-shirt. But we are so powerful every day that we override our God-given greatness inside of us. And God for me stands for greatness on display. Every day we override the opportunity to be greatness on display, to say that we're not. And it's simply because we don't trust our power. Now, why don't we trust our power? Well, I'm glad you asked that. I'm so glad you asked. We don't trust ourselves with our power because somewhere along the way we made a stupid mistake. Somewhere along the way life happened and you did the best you could with what you had right then, and you made the best decision at that moment. Sister, friend, it's at that moment you have to forgive yourself. You can't forgive anybody else until you first forgive yourself. That's the secret to forgiveness. Forgive yourself first. Give yourself some grace and some peace. Forgive yourself so that you can forgive others. Now we can recognize our power. Now we can begin to get it back, because now we're thinking, oh, I'm not that smart. Who am I to start that business? Who am I to say I want to be a millionaire? Who am I to say I can do this thing? Who are you not to, friend? It was given to you for a reason. And so you got to begin to trust yourself with the power, with the understanding that you know, and that you have the tools inside of you to accomplish it. You already know the next steps. You already know how to accomplish the goals. And as you begin to recognize and honor the power in you, you will begin to take action steps toward that thing. And know that you're making the right decision to the next step. You're not making the wrong decision. You're making absolutely the right one. Trust yourself with your power. And if you are a sister, and this is from Queen's Roundtable, and if you are a mother, you have birthed a whole human. You created a life. And listen, some of us, we don't want to trust ourselves with our power. We don't want to grow. We don't want to open ourselves up to understand more. We don't want to change our perspective and our perception because it is challenging. It's hard. And here's my favorite word, but it's so hard though. It's hard, but you had a child. So you mean to tell me you can't be uncomfortable for a few minutes to redirect your life, but you were uncomfortable for a whole 9 months and labor to birth, to push out, to go through uncomfortability, to put a whole new life into this world? So we surely to goodness have a few minutes to be uncomfortable with ourselves, to begin to think another way. And this is all the journey on our new key thought processes, because that's everything that we want to achieve is going to happen on the other side of us thinking differently. It's going to happen on the other side. And if we talked about this on the morning show, You can't have two opposing thoughts at the same time. You can't want to be positive and negative Nelly keeps showing up. Both of them can't show up. And what will happen is both of these forces, your thought processes, they are strong. You strongly want to be positive. You strongly want to do this thing. You believe in it with all your might, but negativity is seeping in. Both of those thoughts are strong. Whichever one is the strongest one is going to win. So whichever thought that you're thinking right now, that's your dominant thought. So if you're insisting on honoring your limitations, and you don't have to justify that to anybody, you justify it to yourself. So if that negative thought is overriding a positive, that's the strongest one. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to get angry. You're going to get confused. You're going to assume you don't know the answer. There's going to be struggle, strife, and stress. And you're not going to understand why. It's because you have two opposing thoughts. Somewhere in the Bible, it says a house divided cannot stand. You are the house. You are divided when you have two opposing thoughts, and it cannot stand. You got to pick a thought. I take boxing classes. One of the things they will teach you is somebody has got to win this fight. Somebody has got to be the aggressor. Somebody has got to decide in that moment who is going to win. Am I going to allow this positive thought to go forward, or am I going to allow this negative thought to go forward? Whichever one is the strongest is what's going to show up today. It's what's showing up now. Hey, Miss Gloria, you, honey, sister, you are so more than powerful. A to the men. So trust yourself that you know. You just forgot for a minute. You forgot that you knew, but it's in there. So I have 5 keys to live past crazy because I'm the only live past crazy specialist. Number 1 is to be quiet. So in your quiet time, meaning you're not talking, you're not asking, you're just listening to the thoughts that come. And if you simply say, I know the answer to this, the answer will come. You got to be bold enough to ask the question. You got to be bold enough to receive the answer. You got to be bold enough to do the work of the answer. And you got to be bold enough to make room for the answer. So today, as you are trusting yourself with your power, right? Know that you're doing more damage by living small than you are by living great. The natural progression of you is to greatness. The Creator said, how much more? In Isaiah, he said, your foundations are made with rubies. If you simply take the sides off your tent, I would surely give you more. He said, everywhere you place your feet is already yours. And every day we take that power and we override it to assume that we cannot. So just for the day, open yourself up to understand more. Upgrade your perspective and your perception. Honey, use the word exercise. Square it up today, okay? Mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. Where do you need to change your perspective and your perception? And while you're doing that, look at the words that people are giving you, right? Who is continuing to have a conversation that no longer fits you? Do you feel yourself slipping back into that old way of, well, maybe you're right, honey. I just ain't got it. I'm too old. I don't want anybody to use I'm too old as a reason why they don't move forward. Your mind ain't old. Your mind still thinks like it did when you were younger. You put the limiting thoughts on it, not the Creator. You did that. Honey, your mind is not broke. It is so powerful. Listen, let me show you how powerful it is. And if you're a mother, you've done this. You've told a child, go in my bedroom and get my comb. Go in my bedroom on top of my dresser and bring me something. Now, before your kid even leave the room, they already got an attitude because they don't want to go. I don't want to go in there. As soon as they hit the door of your room, Ma, I don't see it. Mama, I don't see that thing. And they come out and they say, Mama, I don't see it. And what do we as parents say? If I get up and I go in there and I find that comb, it's going to be me and you. That's what my mama used to tell me. It's going to be me and you. What happens in that moment? Your child goes back into the room and they find the very thing that they were looking for. Because when whatever you say, your mind gives you. That's how powerful your mind is. If you say, I don't have the money, your mind says, JoJo doesn't want the money, so let me hide it from her. The minute you say, I want to receive my abundance, I want the money, you will find it. Play this all day long. Try to find somebody with a purple shirt for the rest of the day. I promise you'll see purple everywhere. Try to look for your car, a gray car, a blue car, whatever color car, you will find it everywhere. If you tell yourself, I'm going to do this, your mind will do exactly that. You just need to trust that you're powerful. Trust yourself. I promise you're going to make it. Number 4, to the key thought process, right, is dare to explore more of, and I put this in myself, so I want you to put your name. Dare to explore more of yourself and the world around you. Some of us are waiting on death to be free. We are waiting on death to be free. Why? Why are you waiting? If you're waiting on death to be free because you assume that you're not powerful enough to make that decision, because you don't trust yourself with your power, because your perspective and your perception is messed up, because you were overwhelmed because it was too much for the day, what begins to happen is life is being taken away from you every day. When you're waiting on death to be free, you know some people like that they don't want to get well. They don't want to get better. They always want to be sick. They always want drama. There always has to be a problem. And what you will find is that life will begin to take away from them. Somewhere, and I love the Song of Solomon, Book of Solomon, and it talks about we got to tend to the garden of our love before the little foxes come. And the foxes come and eat away. What do you think the world is doing when you don't honor your gift? When you don't honor your life? When you don't realize that you are a powerful, amazing creation, living and breathing. You are greatness on display. Well, the little foxes of the world come. Here comes Negative Nelly, Debbie Downer, Pity Party Patty, and they start pinching away at you. And then you're left with nothing. And you assume in order to be free, you have to die. And that's not so at all. It's not so. So as you dare to explore more of yourself and the world around you, I want you to introduce yourself to life. Meaning, I need you to pay attention. I want you to take a deep breath and pay attention to all the sights and sounds that are around you. The earth that is moving and breathing and going, it doesn't even require you, but you are allowed to participate in that today. I want you to think about that. I want you to introduce yourself back to life, and that know that you have the capabilities. You already have them. You have the tools. You are capable. You are able. You are smart enough to implement any idea. Honey, you are worthy of the task of unveiling the truth to yourself. And the truth to yourself could be, well, you know what? I think, you know what? I got this. I can figure this out. I can handle this business. I can make this decision. I can think this thought, and nobody's going to die. Your brain will not ooze out of your ears because you thought a different thought. And here's the main thing. Sometimes, and I'll be honest, because I like to have confessions and conversations with JoJo because I'm transparent. Some of us, we don't want to think a different thought because it's going to challenge not only our current reality, but it's going to challenge our family around us. And we don't want to go against what mom and them has taught us, daddy and them, cousin them, our religion. We don't want to go against anything that has been ingrained in us for so long that we just accept it. Right? And we don't dare explore anything out. When I realized that my religion was allowing me to put God in a box that he could not fit, right? He couldn't fit in that box, but I insisted on shoving him down in there. The minute I took him out of that box, I realized I never had to seek a relationship with the Creator. I was the relationship with the Creator. Am I not made in his image? So that means part of him lives inside of me. I am that relationship. I just didn't trust myself to acknowledge the power that lived in me. I had to change my perspective and my perception. Just for the day, I had to open myself up to understand more of him. And I had to dare to explore more of me. And the minute I took the bounds off of him is the minute life became just a little bit easier, honey. You can flow with it. So I love to tell this story. And I heard this story about a guy who milked a cow. And he said every morning he would get up and he would milk the cow. And the cow would give him the prettiest milk. And he'd have the bucket full. And before he could reach for the bucket, the cow would knock the milk over. Some of us are like that with our blessings, our abundance, and our life and our thought process. We will ask God, whomever you pray to, whatever religion you subscribe to, you will ask for all the things. Bless me more abundantly. Give me this, give me that. And when the abundance shows up, because your perspective and your perception is one day, and you don't trust yourself with your power, you knock the blessing over. You kick the abundance away. And then, friend, you cry over spilt milk. You cry because you didn't receive it. You did. It just didn't look like how you thought it was supposed to look. So you kicked it away. Maybe it looked like you changing your thought process. Maybe it looked like you receiving more than your previous share of abundance. Maybe that's what it looked like. And because it looked differently than how everybody else said it should look, sometimes the right thing is to do is when everybody else assumes that it's wrong. It may be right for you and wrong for them. And you've got to be okay with making that decision. So as you receive more than your previous share of abundance, introduce yourself to life. Stop knocking away your blessing and your abundance and dare to explore more of yourself and the world around you. Look at all of you. Look at all your entire experience. When you meet me, I want you to have the experience of JoJo. I want there to be a whole experience. So Miss Gloria, if you're still on here, if I meet you, I want to see the whole experience of Miss Gloria. Miss Jacqueline, I want to see the whole experience. Look at your life. How I'm 40, about to be 46. Honey, you have 46 years of experience of being you. There have been things that you have learned, that you have passed along to other people. You better acknowledge the things that you have done, the things that you have moved past, grown past, that you're living above and beyond right now. How can you tell us that you're not smart enough when you have survived to this point? And as my big daddy would say, you on this side of the land of the living and not on the other. So as you look at you in the entire experience of you, I want you to do two things. Take out the word just and take out the word little. My pet peeve is the word just. Well, I'm just JoJo from North Carolina. I just work over there at the school. Or I just got this degree. Or I just got this little business. It's not just anything. You, friend, are doing that thing. You're not trying. You're not thinking about it. You are it. You are doing that. And when you get to that point that I'm doing this thing, just no longer applies to me. And I was guilty of that. I said, I'm just JoJo from North Carolina. No, that's who I am. And I need you to state that's who you are. You're JoJo from North Carolina. That's who I am. You're not just anything. And then we're going to take out the word little, right? Because the word little assumes and implies that what you're doing is not worthy of the full word. You are worthy of the full word. This is the Queen's Roundtable. It ain't a little Queen's Roundtable, honey. We are changing sisters' lives one person, one life at a time, one live stream at a time. Honey, if we can help one sister who can tell her family, who will then change her community, we will change the world one queen at a time. It's not it's not a little anything. And so if we could just remove those two words out of our vocabulary, that alone is going to empower us or make us think differently now, because now everything is in the affirmative. Nothing is in the negative. We're not rewriting the English language. We're going to do. We're not going to do not. We're going to can. We're not going to try to can't. We're going to could, not couldn't, would, wouldn't. We're not going to chop words off and add negatives. We're going to speak into affirmative. And if you read the word, everything is an affirmative. I believe that the Bible is a book of psychology and of well-being, and it is a thought process that if you just change the way you think, then your reality will match that. Period. And I'm a firm believer that whatever comes after I am, it is so. So why am I not being it? If I'm going to be the first multimillionaire in my family, I am. It's already done. So why am I not acting like it? That's where the confusion comes in for us. That's how we have two dominant thoughts and both of them are trying to win. That's why we're confused. That's why we stress. That's why we have the headache, the shoulder ache. That's why we have high blood pressure. That's why we're overweight or we overeat that whole bag of barbecue potato chips, because we have two minds that are trying to win. So and I'm going to finish thought 4, but let me give you this exercise. Because a lot of people, I said, listen to yourself talking. Jojo, what are you talking about? There is another you inside of there that talks to you daily. You probably never paid her any attention. If you can see this word, can you see what this says? I want you to say the name of this company, right? Without saying the word out loud. Just say it in your head. Say this word in your head. Did you not hear a word? Did you not hear somebody say this word? Your mouth didn't move. There was no sound coming out of your lips, but you heard a voice that said that. That is the other you. That is the creator that lives inside of you that tells you, if you begin to trust me, I have the words ready and available for you. I have everything that you need. What I found out after I left my ex-abuser, and when I assumed I didn't know anything, living in a shelter with 2 kids, asking other people for underwear and a toothbrush because I had none of my own. That's a very humbling experience. I knew the next right step when I got quiet and I trust myself. Even in the appearance of lack, I had to trust that there was abundance. And the abundance some days for me was, Jojo, that you're alive and well on this day. But I had to begin to trust and know and listen to that voice that we override all the time. So number 4, you have to dare to explore more of yourself and the world around you, right? You can receive more than your previous share of abundance. Let me tell you what will happen, right? Let me tell you what will happen if you do not acknowledge that you can receive more than your previous share of abundance. I'm an ex-first lady. So this is what will happen inside the church. Honey, you ain't even got to have the church, but this is what will happen. You will pray. Honey, they will spray you down in holy oil. You will fall out. They will be laying of the hands. They're going to cover you with the purple cloth. They're going to cover you with the white cloth. Honey, you will speak in tongues. You will dance and you will do all the things. And you will pray, Creator, Jesus, God, whomever you pray to, take this thing away from me. And the minute you get up from that prayer, that moment, and you walk away, you'll be like, wait a minute, I forgot something. And you will go back and pick up that crazy you just left. That's double-minded mind. I'm trying to be positive, but the negative is sitting here. Friends, somebody's got to win that fight. Your abundance will never come. You won't receive any more blessings. You will look at other people and wonder how they got more blessings than you got when you praying just as hard as they are. Well, Jesus, and get mad, Lord, well, I'm living right. How come I'm not getting more than my previous share of abundance? Because you keep picking up the thing that you said you were going to lay down. That is how crazy continues. And trust me, as the only live past crazy specialist, honey, I can tell you some crazy things. I can also tell you how you can live past it. And number 1, not only to forgive, but you got to let go. And to get to that point, there's just one question you need to ask yourself. Are you ready to get past this thing? Are you ready to get past this negativity? Yes. If the answer is yes, the next thing is to let all of everything else go. So as you change your key thought process and you understand that, yes, I want to get past this. I want to upgrade my perception. I want to understand more. I trust myself with my power. I'm exploring all of my abundance. You've got to let everything go. This is hard because we would like self-validation. Meaning, I want whoever hurt me, whatever made me mad, whoever cussed me, whatever it is that they did, I need them to feel what I felt right then. And I cannot let it go until they feel that. Friend, you will never get the validation. They're never going to say anything that's going to make you feel better. They're never going to give you enough money. They ain't ever going to say, I'm sorry enough. There's nothing they're going to be able to do to make you feel better about what happened. And I had to get to that point with my ex-abuser. There was nothing he was going to be able to say for beating me every day. Nothing. I had to let that go. Jojo, do you want a different life? Yes. Let everything else go. Okay. Now my key thought process can change. Now I'm stable. My foundation is set because I know which mind is going to win. You're at a fight of your life. The new you versus the old you. Somebody, sister, has got to win this fight. Somebody has got to be the aggressor. I have a program called Team Abundance because I believe that there is two teams in life, Team Lack and Team Abundance. Team Lack, if you don't choose one, you're on one by default. Okay. Team Lack is I'm things is what they is and I ain't changing. Team Abundance, we speak a moving language. We see things differently. We breathe differently. And we speak such a different language. People on Team Lack can't understand. Everybody's trying to win this championship. Everybody's trying to win at this thing. But you have to decide which dominant thought is going to win. Which one? So you are capable of doing, friend, whatever it is that you would like to do. So as we remove the word just and we remove the word little, I want you to know that it's so. And listen, when you get this key thought process, friend, you're going to start winning. Don't be afraid of that. It's okay to win. It's okay to have a winning mindset. I promise. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to be a championship, honey. Team Lack ain't playing with you. So Team Abundance, we're going to be prepared for that thing, okay? So that we can win this. All right. I want to leave you with how does the key thought process, what does it look like? And I'm going to tell you how you can find me. You can follow me. I see your question, Miss Gloria. What does this process look like? To begin with your key thought process, and I hope you wrote them down. If not, I can give them to Miss Jacqueline. Number one, I want you to begin to talk to someone different than those people in your circle. Talk to somebody different. Just one person. You ain't got to be a whole lot of people, honey, just one. Talk to somebody different. Number two, read a different book. Honey, you can read one of mine. I got 7. Pick one. You ain't even got to read mine. I tell you what, the book that saved my life, Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers. Go grab you a copy of that. Go read that. Honey, read a different book than what you're reading. Enlarge your mindset. Your brain's not going to ooze out of your ears. Change your environment, number 3. You can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. Change your environment. Don't go over to Pity Party Patty's house and have that same conversation. Don't call her for the next week. Honey, when you want to gossip and get bored or something happening, you just got to tell her, honey, have your glass of water, go stand outside, go walk around, go visit a neighborhood you ain't ever visited before. Change your environment, okay? Number 4, remove your assumptions about yourself. We do that by doing an assessment. We talk about that on Team Abundance. We do an assessment of where we are, where we want to go, and how we fixing to get there. Because the answer is clear. The way is here. You just got to look at your assumptions. Why are you assuming that you're stuck here? Why are you assuming you can't move? And then you need to start asking questions. Who told me that? Like, who told you those things? And friends, start asking all the questions. Be like a little kid. Ask all the questions. So what does the key thought process look like? Talk to somebody different. Read a different book. Change your environment. Remove your assumptions, okay? Do an assessment, period. Listen, self-care is gangster. We got to get down and dirty with this thing. But what is the outcome if I don't? I'm going to stay here and die with shoulda, coulda, woulda, and I ain't got time for that, honey. No, we not what, and I'm good in country. What we not fixing to do is be stuck. we not fixing to do that. we not getting stuck because our mind is too powerful. The Creator said too many things in the affirmative for us to live in the negative. Now, if we choose to stay, you can argue for your limitations. And I understand that because I argued for mine for a very long time. But I'm telling you, the minute you decide that you are worthy of something else, Your limitations will go away. It is that next step. It is the key thought process system. Honey, it's going to change your life. I promise. It's 4 things. And I'm going to close. Key thought process. Just for the day, I open myself up to understand more. Number 2, I upgrade my perspective and my perception. 3, I trust myself with my power. Honey, you are powerful. And number 4, I dare you to explore more of yourself and the world around you. What does that process look like? Talk to somebody different. Read a different book. Change your environment. Remove your assumptions and stop honoring your limitations. Honey, they not serving you, friend. Sister, they not serving you. They're not serving you at all. They're doing nothing for you. Okay? Do an assessment. Grab that piece of paper, square it up, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. Where do you need to remove those assumptions? Who do you need to talk to differently? If you sad, depressed, disgusted, angry, and upset, honey, read something else. Do something else. It says exercise your faith. That means you actually have to move it. It's going to hurt in the beginning because you ain't ever exercised it before. So as you exercise and as you stretch and grow, you're going to get uncomfortable. And I promise you can be uncomfortable for a minute, honey, for a lifetime of freedom here instead of bondage here. All right. So I'm going to leave you with 2 quotes. And Miss Jacqueline, I will be done. I appreciate y'all having me. So here's your 2 quotes. If you don't get nothing else, you're qualified to be exceptional. You're just nervous in front of your current community. You are qualified to be exceptional. You're just nervous in front of your current community. That means the people that you are around you right now, you're scared to be great. You are afraid to speak the truth. You are afraid to say the words that you know you need to say, honey, that will set your soul free and your family free, because we're breaking generational thought processes. That's what they are. I don't know if they're curses, but they're thought processes, because you make macaroni like grandma, and you fold your clothes like your mama, and you clean and use the same cleaning products as grandma did. And it's a thought process that kept you going that way. But what if I told you in this key thought process for the next 30 days, if you thought a different thought, if you did something different, then you would set yourself up for another belief system. You would set yourself up to be different. And now we're creating a new generation, a new process, a new way of doing things. So you're qualified to be exceptional. You're just nervous in front of your current community. And I guarantee you, your mama now, cousin now, sister now, they need you to be different so that they know it's okay for them to be different. So you holding back is hurting everybody else. Can we live free now? The second quote is, never close your mind to an idea simply because it's miraculous. Never close your mind to an idea simply because it's miraculous. That miracle idea came to you for a reason. The creator said, Jojo, you're the only one that can do this. It keeps calling your name. It wakes you up at night. It's there when you go to sleep. When you see somebody else doing it, you be like, I could do that better. Honey, yes, because you can. Never close your mind to an idea simply because it's miraculous. And we're all searching for a miracle. We're all waiting for the creator to come and save us and swoop us up. But honey, you are that miracle. If you woke up this morning or today, this evening, whenever you're watching this, you are the miracle that you're seeking. You have 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 hands. If you watch TD Jakes, he said, I have 2 hands, 2 arms, 2 feet, a mouth, 2 eyes. You have the greatest that all that men have had. You are the miracle. So that thing that you're praying for in hopes and holding on, hoping that it's going to come miraculously, it did. You woke up this morning. Trust yourself with your power. Think the thought that you need to think. Take the next right step. Take the action. You are the miracle. And all the tools that you need are before you because they're inside of you. So as you step out on your miraculous idea, as you know that you're qualified to be exceptional, I want you to take this key thought process and just implement one, honey. Don't try them all. Just pick one, whichever one feels good to you. And if this didn't help you, leave it for somebody else. And if it helped you, take what you need and apply it. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. And if you would like to reach out to me, you can, and I'm sure Miss Jacqueline will post this, it's bit.ly/Waddell Speaks. And I'm doing just 15-minute conversations. I do speaking engagements as well. You can get any of my books on Amazon. I'm the host of the Fearless Morning Show weekdays at 7:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. We talk about living past crazy because I want to share with you so that you know that you don't have to stand there. It is my job to be your guide, to be your sister's keeper. And when I'm a firm believer that as you want to help others, right? If you want to help somebody, you've got to learn to receive before I can give. So as I receive the information from the creators, he gives it to me, and I learn to receive more than my previous share of abundance. As I learn to receive forgiveness and understanding, I now can give it back, because I cannot help you if I've never received the thing that I'm trying to tell you that you can have. So as I receive so that I can give more and I can serve more from an overflow. Honey, when somebody tells you you're full of yourself, tell them thank you and keep on serving. So thank you, Miss Jacqueline, for having me. Miss Glory, it is the Fearless Morning Show, weekdays at 7:30 a.m. on Facebook. It'll be on my, I promise if you type in my name, I'm the only person that comes up.
You know what? I didn't get the link. So when you get a second,
I'll type
the link in for us. But
yes.
I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I'm speechless. I mean, you know, I know we've worked together before.
Yes.
You know, but this is my first time actually talking with you. You know, like, you know, screen to screen. You know,
Yes.
And I don't know.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did. I mean, I just feel some kind of way. Like I can't even describe it. You know, but one of the things that, you know, really attracts me to you is just the fact that you're just real. You know what I mean? It's like you got a good message, but you're very, you know, I feel like I can relate to you.
Yes.
Oh Lord, now my son is texting me. You know, I'm on live, y'all, so he gonna text me. Ooh, these kids.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
So but yeah, you know, you just like keep it real, and not that I haven't heard some of the different concepts that you talked about, but for some reason, just now, it just really resonated so much with me. And I just, you know, I want to thank you for coming on the platform and just, you know, setting the stage on fire for the night. You know, I mean,
I had a good time. Listen.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. And you know, and I've always wondered, like, what exactly did that mean, that live past crazy? You know, It's like something that you kind of like, you read it, you be like, wait a minute, you know, what does that mean? You know, so I kind of have a better idea and understanding of what you mean when you say that. And you're right. I haven't seen anybody else, you know, with that title.
Yes, ma'am. That's right. I don't have to worry about anybody taking that one from me.
So you know what? One question though before we leave, and then I do want you to kind of double back and just, you know, make sure you tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay.
And also to tell them like where, like if you have anything coming up.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And what was the other thing I was gonna say? Like what social media platform? This is something I'm gonna start asking people. What social media platform are you on the most, or the most interactive with? Okay, so that's what I want you to end with. But what I want to ask you is that, and I think, I don't know quite if you touched on it or how much you touched on it. I can't really remember now. But what was the pivotal point for you that really made you realize your power, or the power of thought?
It was two things. Of course, the first one was when I left my ex-abuser, and I was definitely afraid then. But it was just the small thing that made me realize just how powerful. Like, you would think he would be more powerful over me, but in that moment when I left, I was the powerful one, and I realized that. But I think the biggest one was for me, it was my first speaking engagement that I ever had. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to say. I opened up the Bible, and it fell open to the scripture. It says, if you open up your mouth, I'll put the words in your mouth. And I was like, okay. And I went in there and spoke, and I thought I did horrible. And there was a little girl that came out later, and she was like, thank you so much. She was like, I was going to go back to my abuser today because I assumed I didn't have. And I was like, what? And she was like, Your story changed my life. So that on that day, I wrote a quote down, and I think I still have it. And this is how many times I done rewrote it. It's on sticky notes. It says, somebody's waiting to hear my voice and they will not move until I move. And I think we all have to, realize that whether you think your voice is powerful or not, somebody's listening and somebody's watching, and they're not going to move until you move. And that was the first inkling. And then it just grew, it grew from there.
And how long ago was that?
That had to be 2012.
2012. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So
wow.
I've been doing this for a minute, but I absolutely enjoy every minute of it.
I can tell.
Yes.
I can tell.
Yes.
So let us know again, like if you have any upcoming promotions and where you're active at and
okay. I'm most active, of course, on Facebook just because of the morning show, but I'm also on Instagram. Of course, again, Young Mitra is out there, and I did post a link for my Facebook page in there as well. In August, I will be in Tampa. I'm the keynote speaker for the Empowerment Summit in Tampa, so I'm excited about that. And I think that's I have the Sister Rise Retreat coming up in October, and that is October the 15th through the 17th. And I'm hoping to get one more book out this year. That is my plan. I managed to get 3 last year, and I haven't. And I'm trying to get just one this year. I'm just trying to get one this year. But any of the social media, and I'd be glad if anybody join me on the Fearless Morning Show. I'll tell you good morning. We're gonna have the most amazing day ever on the morning show.
Yes, I mean I'm just, it was one of the you had said, I know I said that was going to be it, but I just thought about this. When you said get rid of the word just and the word little, and I had to think back too, and I'm just like, I say that all the time. This little this or this little that, and it's just like, I know how powerful words are. And I know a lot of you listening, you know how powerful words are, but it's a matter of really paying attention, making it a conscious effort to pay attention to it. So when you said those two things, and when you said, what'd you say? So I got to look down at my little self-care is gangster.
Yeah. Yes, honey. I believe self-care is gangster, honey. You can't play with. It's not just, we all like to look nice, but I want to be nice on the inside.
On the inside, yep.
And do that work and see where I've been the common denominator, because I may have been the common denominator in crazy, and I need to fix that. So, but I don't like the word just and little. I had to stop saying. I have to be conscious not to say that now. And say, oh, I was just doing it. No, you wouldn't. You are doing it. You're not trying. You are doing that thing. So, and we got to take ownership of that.
Yeah, I remember my father used to say, "You're not maybe this or a little bit this." And he used to always say something to the effect of, "That's like either you're pregnant or you're not. You're not just a little bit pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. Pick one. It got to be one or the other. Right. So
one or the other, honey. There is no in between. So we are doing this thing. So.
Yeah, we're doing this. That's right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the platform.
Thank you.
So much appreciated. And, hopefully we'll continue to, collaborate in the future and so on and so forth. And ladies, for those of you that joined us live, I know a couple of you did. Miss Shante, I think it's how you pronounce her name. Miss Rhodey, thank you so much. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Gloria, for tuning in. And anybody else that I may have missed.
Yes.
And thank you for those that will catch the replay. So again, we're closing out for today. This is A Queen's Roundtable Quarterly Symposium. I'm your host, Jacqueline Harrison. And this is our 3rd week. This time we're doing it the whole month of May. Excuse me, every Friday and Saturday for the month of May. So we got one more week. So I want to encourage you. Like I said, if you are not in the group, go ahead and jump in the group, register and jump in the group so you can see the replays. Okay. And we got next week coming up, and I'm going to be posting about that. But the schedule is also in the group too. So that way you can know, who's coming up and what time. Okay. So thank you again, ladies, for joining us. And basically, tune in again, how do you say, same time, same bat channel.
Yeah. We'll be
next
here on
weekend.
Friday.
And I really do appreciate you all's ongoing support. And also Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are turning up on Clubhouse.
Oh, yeah.
So some of the speakers, whichever speakers can attend, whatever attendees can attend, and just people in general that may want to join the conversation.
Right.
Get on there. We're going to be doing some networking. And this upcoming Thursday, we're going to be talking about adversity. Getting through adversity in your personal life as well as in your business.
Yes.
All right. So tune in. So thanks again. And until next time, I will talk to you all soon.
Have a good
night, everybody.